So, you are thinking of building a home. Have you thought about how you'll heat it? Forced air, hot water baseboard, wood-burning stove. How about radiant in-floor heating? Lynn Coons, Vice President of Apex Homes, has a solution.
Apex Homes is a diversified wholesale manufacturer of custom modular homes, condominiums, and light commercial structures. Over the past 19 years, we've built more than 9,000 homes in 17 states and 5 foreign countries. Apex Homes is staffed by a dedicated and knowledgeable team of modular housing professionals. Each of our senior staff members has been in the modular industry for decades. We bring a level of expertise to our product which is unrivaled in the field. At Apex Homes, we didn't just raise the level of modular home technology, we helped reinvent it. Our custom modular home technology is continually evolving to meet the demands of the ever-changing home building market. Our commitment to you as the builder is to provide state-of-the-art, cutting-edge building products that will set you apart from your competition. New in 2009, we are pleased to announce that we'll be offering hydronic in-floor radiant heat. That's right, you heard me correct. Hydronic radiant in-floor heat installed right here in our factory.
Radiant floor heat was the first form of central heating. 2,000 years ago, the Romans heated villas and baths by directing flue gases from fires beneath stone floors. Just as the sun or crackling fire warms us on a cold day, the radiant heat rising from the warm floors allowed wealthy Romans to feel warm and comfortable, while ambient air temperatures were relatively low. Radiant heat was rediscovered early in the 20th century. Typically, it mimicked the Roman method. But instead of directing flue gases under stone slabs, hot water was directed through iron and copper pipes in concrete slabs. Frank Lloyd Wright specified this method of heating in many of his designs. Thousands of tract homes were built at Levittown on Long Island and in the San Francisco Bay Area during the 1950s using steel or copper pipes embedded in slab floor systems. These systems earned a reputation for comfort and efficiency. They all but eliminated drafts and reduced dust and other pollutants. Unfortunately, many of these systems failed as pipes corroded or cracked inside of the slabs. Repair of such systems was difficult. Many homeowners eventually turned off and drained their systems, then retrofitted to alternative heating methods. 3 decades ago, the use of cross-linked polyethylene or PEX tubing and other polymer tubing became prevalent, solving corrosion and cracking problems. Based on this new and significantly more reliable technology, radiant floor heating experienced strong growth and acceptance. In some European countries, as much as 80% of all new home construction utilizes radiant floor heating.
With today's concerns about depleting fossil fuels, foreign oil dependencies, and green technology, revisiting hydronic radiant heat only makes sense. We utilize some of the most efficient and advanced technologies in the radiant in-floor heat industry to provide the customer with a heating system that has tremendous comfort, cost savings, and aesthetic qualities. Our sales staff and competent design team will work with you every step of the way to ensure that every homeowner who wants in-floor heat can buy it from you. We have put together this informational video to introduce you to radiant in-floor heat so you can be comfortable and knowledgeable when talking to your customer. So sit back and enjoy this look into the world of hydronic radiant in-floor heat.
Radiant Floor has been experiencing explosive growth for more than a decade. 10 years ago, few homeowners had ever heard of radiant heat. Today, it is commonly considered as an option in many custom homes. Why? 3 factors are most commonly cited: comfort, health, and energy efficiency. 3 other factors must be considered when looking at radiant floor heating. It has remarkably fast response time. It works beautifully with hardwood, carpet, or tile. And again, it is highly energy efficient. Where does radiant heat belong? Almost any floor surface can be radiant. It can be installed into new concrete slabs on gravel grade or stapled up to an existing floor. Depending on where you live, you can also install it outdoors in order to melt ice and snow from driveways and walkways. Let's view a glossary of hydronic terms. The boiler is an appliance used to heat water for radiant panel and domestic hot water heating systems. Sometimes referred to as a hot water heater, It differs dramatically from the common domestic hot water heater used to heat surface water. This is a somewhat antiquated term in the context of radiant heat because the water temperature supplied by a boiler to a radiant system should never exceed 180 degrees. BTU. BTU is an abbreviation for British Thermal Unit. It is a traditional measurement for the amount of heat needed to raise 1 pound of water 1 degree Fahrenheit from a starting point of 39.2 degrees Fahrenheit. BTUH stands for British Thermal Unit per hour to measure BTU input and output over time. MBH stands for 1000 BTUH. A manifold is a junction made of brass, copper, or plastic at which various tubing loops meet. It is designed to install in a closet wall between the studs with an access door. PEX tubing is the type of tubing used for domestic plumbing and radiant floor heating. PEX is an acronym for cross-linked polyethylene. PE refers to polyethylene and the X refers to the cross-linking across its molecular chains. Used since 1973 with billions of feet installed, it has proven to be the most durable and reliable tubing in the world. Loops is the term used to describe the installation of hydronic PEX tubing. Hydronic radiant systems heat a home by circulating hot water through tubing, placed in evenly spaced layouts under the finished floor of the home. There are limits to the length of a tube that water can efficiently be pumped through. It is accepted hydronic practice to limit the length of any single circuit of 1/2 inch tubing to less than 350 feet. Each of these circuits is called a loop. Homes will have their floor area heated by a varying number of these loops. So how do we heat with a hydronic radiant panel? A radiant panel system consists of a boiler, controls, and tubing. Hot water is transferred from the boiler to the copper, PEX, or rubber tubing, which distributes the heat. The living space is heated by radiation, which is the transfer of heat by direct rays from the radiant floor panel. Radiant heat warms the floor, not the air, to heat the home. The air in the room is warmed when it comes into contact with the floor. Heat loss is reduced and the radiant heat remains in the lower part of the room, warmer near foot level and slightly less so at head level, creating the perfect climate for comfort. The opposite of radiant is convection heating. Forced air and baseboard, whether electric or hot water heating systems, use air as the primary heat transfer medium. Typically, heating outlets or baseboards are placed on the outside walls, and the system is designed to fill the area with warm air until the preset temperature on the thermostat is reached. The warm air rises to the ceiling until it cools, falling to the floor for a return to the furnace or to fill the convection vacuum created by a baseboard heater. Air stratification and heat loss to the ceiling are significant with convection heat. Studies conducted by the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers, ASHRAE, indicate that with radiant heating systems, people can be comfortable at temperatures 6 to 8 degrees lower than with convection systems. Water holds heat longer than any other heating system type and supplies steady, uniform warmth. For example, a cubic foot of water at 100 degrees Fahrenheit has 2,500 times the heat capacity of a cubic foot of air. As a result, a small pipe does the same job that would require a large duct using air. Humidification is unnecessary with a radiant system because radiant heat does not alter air moisture content. The humidity in the home is generally adequate if the air isn't dried out by combustion or increased infiltration of cold, dry outside air. Air infiltration heat loss is reduced with radiant heat. Air infiltration and exfiltration increase as the difference between inside and outside temperatures become larger. When superheated air from a furnace or a baseboard heater flows against relatively cold exterior walls, the increased temperature differential results in a stack effect that draws cold air into the house through any cracks. With radiant systems, the air is only warmed to the temperature of the thermostat setting, which is usually lower to start with. So the temperature differential at the outside wall is less, thereby reducing air infiltration. Now let's take a look at how your home heating system must perform to keep you comfortable. Indoors, there are several things that can speed up your body's heat loss, making you feel cold. These are drafts, cold walls, and cold floors. Your body is sensitive to fluctuating conditions, such as alternating hot and cold cycles, variable temperatures from room to room, and uneven temperatures from floor to ceiling. Thus, your home heating system should balance body heat loss by supplying the right amount of heat and especially the same type of heat your body loses, radiant and convected heat. Also, it must prevent drafts. It must warm the floors and walls, and it must provide steady, even heating throughout your home. How cost-effective is radiant heat? With all parameters being equal, a house heated by a hydronic radiant panel heating system will use 25 to 50% less fuel to provide a comfy and stable living environment. Fuel cost reductions are obtained through zoning, high-efficiency boilers, heat loss reduction, and lower thermostat settings. With our systems, you live more comfortably by lowering your thermostat. Lower thermostat settings relate directly to lower fuel costs. Most people with radiant heat systems live very comfortably with thermostat settings of 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. In a forced air heated home, you can experience cold and uncomfortable conditions with a thermostat setting of 70 degrees Fahrenheit or more. In a radiant panel home, one will find themselves too warm or even hot at these settings. There are other advantages to the radiant heat system than just cost. Radiant heat is clean and healthy. Since the radiant heating system does not rely on fans to distribute the heat around the living environment, circulation of dust and other airborne particles is prevented. We benefit from this friendly environment, especially those who have allergies or sensitivity to common airborne contaminants. Radiant heat keeps your furniture, drapes, and painted walls extremely clean and keeps the floors dry. Forced air blows dust, dirt, grime, molds, and other materials from the ducts, soiling objects in the room. Radiant heat is also silent. The system is completely silent during operation in the house without noise such as generated by fans and blowers in a forced air system. New boiler systems run silent enough even to be installed near bedrooms. A radiant heat system is aesthetically pleasing. Experience decorating freedom and enjoy uncluttered floor space because unsightly heat ducts are no longer necessary. You need not worry where to place furniture to accommodate this heating system. Radiant heating is widely regarded as the healthiest and most comfortable natural heating process available. People are warmed in the same way as they are warmed by sunshine on a cool day. Floor drafts, cold spots, and dry air are eliminated. Radiant heat is based in principle on the primary source of heat we know, the warmth of the sun. Hot water radiated heat like natural sunlight warms you and the objects around you instead of the air you breathe as other heating systems do. Radiant heat also assures gentle, draft-free circulation in each room of the home. Let's look at the financial benefits of radiant heating again. Radiant heat costs less per unit of heat than any other type of heating. Conventional systems allow the heat to collect where it's most likely to escape, at the ceiling and along walls. Because the temperature with radiant heat in each room remains relatively constant, heat loss can be reduced to up to 25%. Whether your house is traditional or modern in design with large glass areas, radiant heat is the most economical method for heating every foot of your home because it can reduce the home energy needs up to 50% over conventional heating systems when properly designed and installed. Operating temperatures are so moderate that equipment lasts almost indefinitely. Thus, a home heated with radiant heat retains its resale value. In fact, consumer surveys reveal that radiant heat is replacing older types of heating so rapidly that the house which does not offer its comfort and modern convenience may soon be seriously outdated. Within the next 10 years, it has been estimated that 40% of all new homes built in the United States will be heated by radiant heat. How about yours?
Hydronic radiant in-floor heat. We think as your customers come to you looking for more cost-effective, energy-efficient homes, you're going to hear these 4 words repeated again and again. Now that you have the facts, we hope that you'll be confident in recommending this system, which will provide years of comfortable, clean, economical heat. We at Apex Homes are ready to provide you with this state-of-the-art option. Contact any of our sales representatives for additional information, and again, thank you for your time.